taking video and adding a few things here and there does not exactly make it cinema. Believe me, I have done 300 videos on my channel, so I know what I'm talking about. But then when I started learning about cinema, then I realized, now wait a minute, this is a little bit different. It's very cool. It's something that you need to just take a moment and think about it a little bit. I need to really think about this shot a little bit more carefully. I need to frame my camera more carefully. I need to do multiple takes of the same thing. So that way when I am in the editing and I lay everything out like string outs, I can actually pick and choose which is the one that is the best. And then I ask myself, well, why don't you just learn about cinema? So when Dehancer reached out to me, of course, it was perfect because they are all about cinema. And the fact that they had more than 60, film emulsions there, like the scans and the, I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be awesome because I can really be super creative in what I can do. So when they reached out to me, I was super excited. I was like, oh my God. And I started playing. And as you can see, while I'm talking, I am putting all these clips over there where I've been testing different types of prints and film damage styles so that way it looks very like film and less video. Now, if you're watching any of all these videos that's playing as I'm talking to you, you can actually see that it really looks very nice. Like I did not use DaVinci functions in any way. This is all what you're seeing is purely from Dehancer themselves. I'm not a colorist. I'm not a color grading. Some things I may know, but a lot of things I really don't know. It's a big learning curve, but by using Dehancer, I see that I can actually get some of the results that I was looking for. Now, who's this plugin for? I think this plugin is very good for beginners. Even though I've heard some YouTubers say that no, there's a little learning curve. Yeah, there's a learning curve, but I think you can get over it very fast. Because what happens is when you're doing DaVinci Resolve, all these features are available in DaVinci, but they're kind of like spread around over multiple places. Then you start getting into what is known as a node tree, and you need to know exactly what you're doing, which one comes first. You just can't put them in any order. You have to really know what you're doing a little bit. But with Dehancer, what happens is you simply make a basic node tree and you place them at the end. You place Dehancer at the last node, and then instead of going to 16 different places, everything is available in Dehancer right there. So of course, I have earlier mentioned that one of the things that I would say it's I don't want to say it's a negative, but it's a little bit out there is because it's a little bit more than $400. So that could be a little bit pricey for some of us. That's one thing. The second thing that I would say is I'm using Mac Air M2, which is a pretty decent computer. So when I'm not using Dehancer, I see that my rendering timing is a little bit more like anywhere from 3 minutes to 7 minutes, depends on how long my videos and my short films are. But with Dehancer, when I placed it in, and of course I threw all the sliders up, I turned on all the afterburners, and it took me at least about 30 minutes to render. So that is something I think it's normal. I don't think that, if you have a faster computer, things will probably be better. If you have a basic computer, that's the kind of time you're looking at when you're rendering. So you need to factor that into your timeline, into your work process, right? Like if it takes you, let's say, 1 day to shoot and 1 day to edit, you must understand that it may take some time to render the clips out. That is if you are using full throttle. That means you're using so many things in Dehancer, so obviously it's going to take time. Now my style, and if you've been watching all these videos that has been playing around, you will notice that I did not throw too many things. Like the grain was much lesser. My color combinations were also much lesser. I didn't go for too many of the film looks. Like something like this guy right over here, because this has like a certain type of a feel. I didn't go for that. So probably if I did that, this is actually a Fujifilm Super 8 right here. It's very cute. So if you are thinking of using Dehancer fully, you must understand that the rendering time is going to be there. I would say it is such a great plugin. It's fantastic, and I'm happy that somebody's even doing it, because there are some plugins out there, and I know they're very expensive. I'm not so sure if they're cheaper than Dehancer. I need to check that out. But there was one that I was looking at, and it was like $1,000. So that's like double the price of Dehancer. But you also understand that if you buy or download DaVinci Resolve, which you could download the free version, and it does have enough for you to make a cinema thing. Some of the features are of course available only in the studio version, but there is no watermark in any way, so that you can actually use it the moment you download it. If it was me, I would say save up for it, like go for DaVinci Resolve first, learn how to edit, do all that kind of stuff, and then once you're ready, you have the money, then you can get this plugin, and absolutely you're in business right away, like immediately. Because when I was using Dehancer, I realized that I was actually playing with it in the beginning of the day, and by the evening I was already coughing out some pretty cool footages, like just like trial and error, just to see how it looks. Did I get the color right? Was what I was thinking, did it show up on the screen? Maybe the reds were too much. I tend not to go for too much red. I like to pull my reds in a little bit and should go more on the blue side. That is something you will notice in all my videos, is I don't like too much red. I know red is a Kodak thing. I mean, like a cinema thing. If you look at the old cinema, red is always very much there. There's a cinematographer, his name is Roger Deakins, and what he did was he had this technique, and it's called something, I'll put it on the screen. And he had this technique, so what he did was he shot all the scenes using film, because he really wanted the characteristics right from the start. Because he's, if you understand who Roger Deakins is, he's so much into lighting and setup and all that kinds of stuff. So he shot it in film, and then what he did was he digitized the entire film. And then that's where they went in and did all kinds of color corrections and stuff like that. And then when everything was done, they reprinted it back on film again, which was something, when I was reading it, I was thinking, like, why would somebody do something like that? Because it just seems like unnecessary, like a big circle, and it's probably very expensive to do it in film. So that's what he did. And because of this double, first on film, then digital, then film, it landed certain types of feel to how the cinema was, like how the movie, when they put it together, it was edited together. So when I was thinking about stuff like that, right? So I was like, wait a minute. So with using Dehancer, what could I do? Of course I'm not using film because it's expensive. So what I did was, obviously, I use a Blackmagic camera, and I have a 7 Artisans cinema lens, and I shot everything very nicely on digital, and then I brought it into DaVinci Resolve, and then I did all my color correcting and stuff like that. Then, of course, the last node was Dehancer, and then I pressed it, in the sense I made a combined clip, and then in that combined clip, I opened up another node, and I put Dehancer again on the other node. And those results are really, really incredible. I'm still working on it. As I'm recording this episode, I'm still working on that, because I see some mistakes that I made, so I know how to go backwards, like reverse engineering. So I'm actually making that episode. I'll put it in my show notes. So if you're interested, please check my show notes, because I'm working actually on a project right now, and I'm trying that little, technique out. And it's taking me a little bit longer than I thought, because I'm still exploring, I'm still trying things out. But it's such a great way of working, because what happens is you're not just using Dehancer as is. It's like I'm using Dehancer 2 times in the same node tree. But except the first time I use Dehancer, I'm only using certain elements, And the second time I'm using Dehancer, I'm using the other elements so that later on, so like when I'm rendering, of course, this is actually very taxing on my computer. So when I'm rendering the scenes out, it looks really cool. I mean, I'm still making mistakes, so I'm going to work it out. So just let me know if that's something that you're interested in. So what I'm trying to sell to you is not the Dehancer itself, because I'm sure you're already sold on that. It's more that here is, I remember this movie. I don't know if you remember. I'm aging myself. It's an Australian movie. It stars Mel Gibson. It's called The Road Warrior. And of course, in America, it's known as Mad Max. And he has this car, but he has like a special engine connected to his other engine. So it's like double engine. So when he's driving his police car, he just has one engine and he's driving. But when he's really on, like chasing all the bad guys and stuff like that, that's when he turns on his second engine. So that's how I feel. Like DaVinci Resolve is this amazing car that I'm having, and Dehancer plugin is this extra engine on the hood. So when I'm working, I will do all the normal things like I will normally do. And then towards the end, I will turn on the Dehancer app, and then I will do my final touches. As I'm making videos or movies, that's what we're doing, right? I think we should be making movies and not videos. So as I'm making movies, I will put links into my show notes. So every time you come back to this video, if you look at the show notes, you can see all those links. And some of them I'm going to be showing you behind the scenes of how I am making some of my clip. So thank you very much, guys, for watching and subscribing and liking. I hope my review of this product has been a little bit helpful. As you can see, I have not given you any definite answers, yay or nay. It's because we are all filmmakers, we are all cinema people of different levels, of different kinds. So to me, I can say that it is amazing. It really, really is amazing. Like, I knew enough about it, but when I installed it, oh boy, I could not stop. I was thinking creatively, like, wow, I can start shooting things differently, because Dehancer is going to help me really take the level up. Like, I have friends who are watching some of my videos and they're like, whoa, what happened? Look at you. Suddenly you're so cinematic. You're so cinema. Everything is so cool. And I had to tell them that I had the plugin. That's why. All right. Thank you, guys. See you in my next video. Bye-bye.